Good morning, everybody. This is Stacy Turner with our DMOpro Zoom, and we are the last day of this business month. And I don't know about you guys, but I have so many people that have links that I have given them information to. Like they say they're ready to order, and then, they get distracted and things like that. So I thought today we could talk about overcoming current objections. So, like, what's happening in our business right now that we're feeling like, okay, this is a little bit new because that is new. And, the last time I did an event, I had people there saying, okay, I want to order. And I had order forms and I had those contact cards, and they were saying, how do I order? There were a bunch of people that I didn't have extra help like with other partners. And so I was saying, okay, I'll send you a link. So I know specifically I had three contact cards from that night. One of them has ordered, the other two have not. I've given them cards, and one of them sort of had some issues with it. She's with her sister that's on hospice. I think she's just distracted and doesn't have a lot of brain power to go to it. So if it's all frustrating or unknown to her, she's like, I'll do it later. So I'll probably have to go do that with her. So that's something that is new. Like in the past, I would have just had them fill out an order form. I would have already had all of those orders in. So honestly, I'm feeling a bit frustrated with that, sort of like my hands are tied to actually help them place the orders. So that night, I did have two of them stay. Um, and then and they ordered that night. So I said, okay, let's just go ahead and place your order. I built them a cart, I sent them the link, and right there, they finished the order because they could stay long enough to do that. The other three that I have the cart cards, I sent them cards, but they weren't able to stay and fill it or, complete the order in front of me. So, that is one way that we can overcome that objection, or really making sure that they place the order. I can't put their order in for them. I can build them a cart. And if you're in person, just have them go ahead and do that right now. So go ahead and click that link and I'll walk you through it. That way they didn't get too distracted because a couple times, like, they weren't sure what to do next in the ordering process. It's still a bit clunky to me. And so I was able to next step them, thinking and like move them through that process to complete the order. So if you can be in person, that's one way I'm finding overcoming the objection of, just the link not happening. Second is one of the girls, I invited her to coffee. I said, okay, let's just go. Actually, it was lunch. Let's go to lunch and I'll help you walk through. It was a new partner. We were signing her into the back office and all of that. And so we met in person and I walked her through this other gal that's with her sister on hospice. I think that I'm going to have to go and actually do it with her. She's a little bit older too, and I think she just doesn't have the capacity right now to deal with something that's even a little bit frustrating. So, those are some things I'm finding. If you're not able to get them to place the order right away, can you meet with them and actually help walk them through that? So, I didn't see that I had that many issues in January, which is interesting because I sent a bunch of people links and a bunch of people ordered, and I had all of those orders. And then now I'm seeing that there's a delay in the ordering process. So I'm a little bit curious about that. The other thing that I know is a lot of these contacts are sourdough class contacts. So these are not people that I know. They're not people that I know past like this one introduction class that I did and the small portion of gut health and juice plus. So it's first exposure for a lot of them. So I have to understand that just because I've sent them a cart and they said they wanted a cart doesn't mean they have the education and information they need to make a purchasing decision. So think of that in your mind. Just because they ask for a cart link, it's the same as if they asked for an order form. They just want to see prices. It doesn't necessarily equate to I'm ready to order. And I think that that's a little bit different for us, right? Like, how many times have you gone to a website and then you put the things in your cart and then you go to the cart so you can see what that looks like. And then you go back and you read some more on it. And then you're like, okay, I'll come back to this. I'm not really quite sure I want to make this decision. I mean, I've done that with multiple products, and thankfully, targeted marketing will bring it back to my attention. I'll see the ad again, or I'll have gotten a discount code for putting in my email address. And so I'll get another on their email system. And sometimes it takes multiple exposures before I actually purchase the product. So we have to remember it's still the same way with our Juice Plus people. Like I said, these are pretty cold contacts to me. It's first exposure. Just because they ask for the cart doesn't mean they're fully ready to order. So I know that means a couple of things. One, have they watched a video? Have I sent them a video? A lot of times I have, but I don't know if they've watched the video. And then two, can I invite them to a secondary event where they're actually going to learn more information and see the community? So for me, my favorite to do on that side of it is a watch party. So Tuesday night, Wendy Campbell is doing her talk, but there's some great ones that as the recording is being shared in Voxer, I'm taking those recordings and I have a note section on my phone that says watch party ideas, and I'm saving kind of the flyer, the description of it, and the link to the recording. That means I can do that whenever works for my schedule. And we've been in and out of town so much lately. It's been a long time since I've done like a Juice Plus presentation where I've got all of these, feelers out there, all these people that are interested, but then an event really gives you a chance to bring them in. And yes, a sourdough is an event, but it's more of an introduction event, although we do get orders from that. It's not going to be everyone that orders, but that doesn't mean they're not interested. It just probably means we got to keep doing enough events to bring them back in to learn more. So today being last business day, it's easy to send a message to those people and just say, "Hey, I know I sent you a link. Our website is still a bit quirky at times, so I'm just wondering, did you have any issues with that link, or have you already ordered? I didn't see your name in the back. No pressure. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay." And then you can end with a question. Did you have any issues with that? Or is there anything I can help you with that? Or did that link work for you? Or something that you know that requires a response back. And if they're like, yeah, I did order, because I've had that happen. It's not very often anymore, but yeah, I did order. One of our partners had a team member, I mean, someone that she had just shared with Juice Plus, and the girl just went on Juice Plus and became a partner. Well, she didn't even know, like she hadn't even sent her a link yet to her cart, so there was no tracking her to her. So thankfully, we still have today's business day to get that moved back to her. So it's a good time to just go back to all of those people and just make sure. If nothing else, it's going to bring up the conversation again. And then, especially if you have another event that you can invite them to. And like I just realized, we actually will be in town Tuesday night. Tuesday nights are a good time to do an event. I'm just going to make a flyer today. I'll do dinner because dinner brings people in. I'll send it out to the people, and like whoever comes, comes, right? Like it's not a lot of time, but either they're interested and they're in town and they're free, or they're not. Like they're not going to set their schedule 2 weeks from now and put Juice Plus on the calendar and not let anything override that. It really is not very often that's true for people coming to an event. It's kind of like, oh yeah, Stacy's doing this event. Well, I'm not actually, I am free and she's serving dinner. So, okay, let's go learn some more about it. So if you do them often enough, you'll see that. And then I'm thinking ahead, I'm going to be out of town again for a while. So what's one more at the end of April before the wedding shower? And then next month will be pretty crazy with wedding stuff. So I know that if I'm not careful, I will just say, oh, it's a full time. My schedule's full. We've got a lot going on. It's busy, and I won't make the time to invite. So then that will be 2 months of no contact from me, of inviting secondary people in, secondary event, and I'll lose the momentum with a lot of those conversations. Not that it will be gone, right? But it's going to be 3 months from now that I bring it back up. It's just I don't want to lose the contacts that I've had. So I'm talking myself into doing an event. Thanks for letting me talk that through with everyone. So, okay, you guys tell me what objections, that's my main one right now. That's kind of where I'm like in this back and forth, like what do we do? So I thought maybe some of you were dealing with the same thing, but what is something you guys are finding an objection now in our business? It looks a little bit different. So what's something you guys, maybe it's even an objection in your own mind about the business of how we do business or something. What's going through your heads? And let's talk it through.
Casey, I know something that I always do since my town I live in is less than 800 people. And so I say, oh, I've saturated the market. I've asked everybody 100 times. Nobody wants to come anymore. So I'm doing that in my head. But what I really got from you, because I'm kind of, since I've been with the company a long time, I'm kind of old school. Got to invite 2 weeks ahead of time, So the spontaneous thing was really good. Just invite them. Made some soup. Come over and join us, something simple.
Yes. Yeah. Don't make it difficult by any means. Like I've told you guys, street tacos do really well for us, and it's meat in a crock pot. It's basically soup and, just it's the meat in the crock pot and then the small tortillas that actually say street tacos on the packaging. But yeah, keep it simple enough that you can do it quickly. And then if somebody says, yeah, I can come, what can I bring? Let them bring something. Can you bring shredded cheese? Can you bring whatever? They're more likely to come and not back out last minute if they've said that. Patty, that is interesting, right? Living in that small of a place because we live in an area of like 12,000 and I feel like that's small. So 800 is very small. How close are you to other towns? Are you able to do booth events at other communities or are you guys pretty rural
Pretty
altogether?
much, if I want to do a booth that's going to attract some people, it's an hour. It's Reno, Nevada, and I'm in California. And so the closest town is 10 miles, and that's probably 2,000 people. And then the other direction, it's probably 2,500 people, and that's 30 miles. So yeah, it's just
Yeah.
where we live. It's okay.
Yeah. New Mexico is super rural too, so I've got, 30, 40 minutes towns away from me, but I have found those communities are great to do events at. Even if it's just sourdough events where you can, if you know somebody in one of those towns, ask them if they would be willing to host a sourdough class, and then they're inviting their people to it. And they've already got the relationships and connections. So I'm sure you've thought of those types of things. And then that's often where you're going to end up with finding a team member too.
And I have a question, and hopefully this will bring value to somebody else out there. I did a ton of sourdough workshops, and so I probably have, over 100 leads from sourdough, but nobody really responds. So how would you go back and revisit that, if it's been a couple months type of thing? What
Did
would
you
Stacy do?
Yeah, that's a great question. Did you have them fill out any sort of form that they wanted information? So, okay, a couple of things I've thought of. We could do a second class. I've had some people do my class, like they've taken it again. And do you use Project Broadcast, Patty?
Not anymore. I was, but I dropped it.
Okay, because I know there's no way I would be able to reach out to 100 people to invite them to things without Project Broadcast. So I have all of my sourdough contacts in Project Broadcast so that I'm not trying to copy paste. And it's a number of exposures that people are willing, that they don't really know us. They're colder contacts most of the time. But those that marked that they did want information about Juice Plus, they would go into a different tag to where they were like sourdough and Juice Plus, or sourdough and events. So then when I'm inviting to an event, I can invite, do the different tags and add them in. So that's something that's super helpful with Project Broadcast to me. I would say if they've said they want information on Juice Plus, then you could bring that back into the conversation. Hi Nancy, I just wanted to swing back around and let you know I'm doing this event on this night. I remember we had talked and you had been interested in Juice Plus. Life has been crazy busy, but I was hoping you might be able to join us for dinner on, Tuesday night at 7. Are you in town on Tuesday? Or I have found just asking that question, I get the best response on those. Are you in town Tuesday night? And then through Project Broadcast, people will ask, who is this? And then I say, oh, it's Stacy. Remember we had talked about Juice Plus, or you had come to my sourdough class. I'm sorry, I should have prefaced that. I'm just, if you're in town, I wanted to invite you over for dinner on Tuesday night. And then they're like, oh, well, what's going on? And then I'll tell them I'm doing this class and this is the doctor that's going to be speaking. We're watching this video. I know you were interested at one point in Juice Plus. You had some questions, and I think this event would really help answer those for you. Would you like to come? Or I'll say, will it just be you or you and your family? And then they'll say, no, it's just me. Or, well, can I bring my friend or my sister? Or they'll say, no, thanks, please take me off your list. Like, whatever it is, at least it's something, right? So I like Project Broadcast for that reason, that I can reach a lot of people at one time. But I think events are honestly the best way to go back to those conversations. And then future sourdough events, how strong are you asking for the sale at the event? Like if it's a passive, just a quick mention of Juice Plus, but not a whole lot of information about it, like it's not a deeper discussion. And if you don't have order forms or contact cards where you're gathering their information specific to Juice Plus and their interest. I think that's you're missing on an opportunity to get those orders. Like you really are. And I say that because they're the most interested at that point, right? So how do we get them to move forward with that at that point? So serving smoothies at the end of the class, like what can you do to keep people stay, help people stay and answer questions? And so something I do at just a regular watch party is, I'll go around, introduce us, depending on how many people are there, and I'll just ask them, just quickly tell me, is there something that you're wanting information on with your health? Some health issue that you're working on, you're concerned about, wanting to prevent? And let's just quickly go around the room and introduce ourselves. And then if it's recorded, it makes it super easy. You just then watch the video, and then I'll hand out order forms at the end, and I'll just say, I know a lot of you were already asking me, how do I get started with this? So let me give this to you so you can look at prices. This is what I recommend. They don't know if one person was interested or nobody, but like we're all going to be included in that, right? So I'll have the discussion in the living room about ordering options, and then I'll say, okay, you guys look at that, think like take a look at it. We're going to go into the kitchen. We're going to make smoothies. I'm there to answer questions. Kim is here to answer questions. If I have any other team members, let's go in and I want to make the smoothie for you guys so you can try that. And then that's usually where the conversations happen. They're asking questions. I help overcome objections. Kind of everyone gets to hear it, but it's less, I don't know, like it's just less pressure, I think, because we're not all just sitting in the living room looking at the order forms. That's just kind of odd. And so when we're moving to the kitchen, it's more conversational, it's relaxed, and they're asking questions. They love the smoothies, and we just kind of keep going from there. So that's what I have found best at the events. Just make sure you're helping them see their options for moving forward. And they're going to want to go home and talk to their husband, or it might be 3 events that they come to before. You might ask specifically to meet one of them one-on-one, just kind of depends on that. But if you're not presenting Juice Plus strongly in the sourdough event, and if you're not inviting them to order, if you're not giving them the tools to do so, then you probably won't get as many orders. Does that make sense, Patty?
Yes, thank you.
Mhm. Lisa, you've got a question?
I do. And it's kind of awkward, but I think sometimes people don't know that I'm in Juice Plus, and we haven't gotten that far. We haven't gotten to, I feel like sometimes I'm using these as relationship events at the same time to get to know them when I feel like the questions aren't coming out one-on-one. Or for example, like the other day, yesterday I met this woman and she was nauseous, and she was in the bathroom, and I said, "Are you okay? Do you need help?" And she's like, "No, I'm not okay." And so anyway, then she came out, come to find out she was an instructor, but she wasn't in stuff, so I didn't know. And I said, do you need any help? Are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I just get nauseous. And I said, do you know what it is? And she said, no, not really. And I said, how's your diet? And she said, poor. And I said, would you like some help with that? And she said, yes. And so now I'm like struggling what to send her, but she lives fairly close. So Jennifer and I are doing that event tonight. So I was thinking, should I invite her to that, or should I send her to something? So I get in that quandary of what's next.
Yeah, so when she says, yeah, I would help with that, say, great, that's what I do. I help busy people simplify their nutrition. Nutrition is everything. I would love to spend some time with you to get to know you a little bit better, figure out, what have you already tried? What avenues have you looked into? I know nobody knows your health like you do. Maybe I have some resources I can share, but on Tuesday, I'm going to be doing this health event. And I think you might find this information helpful. So that's how I would have said it at the point of discussion,
Mhm.
because you're in a bathroom. You're not going to present Juice Plus, right? Like you've got to gather information to invite to a secondary event. So now you can just go back to her and say, hey, how are you feeling? I hope you're doing a little bit better. I was thinking about our conversation, and I help families simplify nutrition, and I'm doing this event Tuesday night. Would you like to come where it's just down the road from you? Or, I can even come pick you up, but I think the information you'll find is going to be helpful. If you guys have a flyer, you could put that with it. Um, and that's how I would start the conversation. And if she says, thanks, but I'm super busy. I already have plans. Just keep the conversation going. And then you could say, oh yeah, I totally get that. That's last minute, invitation. Um, I'm curious, have you ever heard of Juice Plus? That's the company I work with, and it's fruits and veggies in a capsule. But I'm really concerned or curious, like how long have you been dealing with this? So you like mentioned Juice Plus, but we're not going to present Juice Plus in a text message or a right away conversation, but you want them to know this is the help, one of the avenues I have to help. Now we meet one-on-one, see if you can connect with her outside of this event. That's what I would do. Definitely in person if at all possible. And then just ask a lot of questions. Um, Help her to see like you're there as a part of a support system. And I mean, with stomach issues, nausea, like there's a ton of questions that are going through my mind. I'm like, I'm really curious, like what has she tried? How long has this been happening? Is it constipation? Could it be a symptom of something else? Like, I don't know if you guys know this, ovarian cancer. One of the most telltale signs is nauseousness and a feeling of full right after you start eating. Like, what? That I would not think ovarian cancer for that, right? Like somebody will say, I eat 3 or 4 bites and I'm full and I just can't figure out why I haven't even eaten anything. I'm hungry, but I'm instantly full, or I'm just nauseous all the time. Those are two very strong symptoms for
Wow.
ovarian cancer. Crazy,
No,
right?
thank you. I have never heard of that. So thank you for that.
Yeah. I had two customers. I didn't know that. And we kept trying to figure it out. Like, digestive enzymes, different things like that. And that was that both of them ended up being diagnosed months later with ovarian cancer. Had I know that, and it was like right at the same time, I didn't know that information to even ask them if that could be a possibility. The other question, somebody who's nauseous all the time, makes me think about digestive enzymes. Does she have her gallbladder? If she's had her gallbladder removed, she's going to have digestive issues. Those enzymes can be immensely helpful for them. So that's one thing you could ask too. That's where my mind went. But I love talking to people about their health. Like you end up picking up information from this person that I swear I get to use in a conversation three people down, and I'm like, oh, I just learned that from them. Like this might be something for you too. So it's kind of cool.
And
Um,
I'm curious, can I ask one other quick thing?
yeah, of
You
course.
do like I've done a couple of whatever you call them, taste and sip, whatever parties. Do you usually do or recommend doing a smoothie at the end too, or just sticking with the
Oh, I would do a smoothie every time. Smoothies, if at
You
all
do.
possible, I do because they love them. They're so good. We added the superfood powders to a vanilla shake the other night. We were just trying this and I was like, let's just try it and let's see. We put frozen cherries with it and almond milk and it was really good. And then from that, one of the ladies ordered well, she's got the link for superfood and a shake. And she had never mentioned the shakes before in conversation. So I don't think you can go wrong with that, right? You can make another shake and just drop the capsules in it and show them how easy, and it really doesn't change the flavor of the smoothie at all. And so they can see that's another option if they don't love swallowing capsules. Especially when we're talking about how many fruits and veggies we're eating, that's like 50 fruits and veggies at one time. Like that's crazy for a fraction of what you would pay for lunch out somewhere else. So you're talking about saving them money, saving them time, especially if they have kids that are picky eaters. The smoothies are beautiful for that. Like you can add all kinds of stuff in there. Even if you just drop the capsules in and just have the smoothie, you're winning with that one. So I do make a smoothie if at all possible. Even the sourdough classes I do because it keeps them around the table, keeps the conversation going, and will keep them there a little bit longer. All right,
Thank
Marcia.
you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Did you have a question, Marcia?
I just wanted to encourage everyone to do the last minute that Stacy was talking about. I'm not a planner, so last minute's the way I go. But I did have a little glitch with Facebook the last time I threw it out there, and it was thankfully just in my running group. So it was still a big group of people. But what happened was when I put the event together, so you can just post it as an event, it attached, because I didn't put my address in there, it attached another address from a Facebook ad for a dog grooming company in Wisconsin. I'm in Florida, and it was just bizarre. So no one really reads all the details, but they did read that it was at a dog, and it made sense. I have two Great Danes. They thought she's doing something at a dog place to help them. No one showed up at my house. And of course, no one went to Wisconsin, but it was just kind of comical. And so know that Facebook ads will do that if you don't fill out all the boxes.
That's interesting. Good to know. That's definitely an odd objection to overcome.
No, I was like, and I'll still do last minute things. I mean, I'm already thinking like next Sunday, salad in a jar, just
Yeah.
get it out there.
Mhm. If you guys have not started a healthy meal prep Facebook group in your area, I highly recommend it. So just like Artesia Healthy Meal Prep, that's our group name. So put the town name first, because if somebody's searching for things in Artesia, they're gonna type in Artesia in the Facebook search bar, and that's gonna come up. So that's gonna like that will be one of them because it has the name Artesia in it. So if they're looking for meal prep, that's something people will often look up. And then you just start adding your customers in there, your prospects, your whatever. And then when you do a sourdough event or you do a salad in a jar event, you can post an event in that group and then those people can see it. I make the group public because I want anyone to be able to find it. And I mean, we have like, I don't know, like 400 people in there. So again, I'm not going to be able to personally invite 400 people, but I can do an event in there that there's going to be people that see it in there because they're in the group and it might catch their eye and they come. So that's a really easy thing to do to start and to increase your network. And you could do that, Patty, like in each of those towns that you're close to, do the same thing. Like go ahead and you could do like Artesia area, but somebody's not going to drive from Roswell 45 minutes away to come to a salad jar party at my house. They're just not. Like I did have two girls at the last one for the sourdough class from a different town, but typically not, right? But if you can pique interest and gather interest of like healthy meal prep ideas or classes, then if that's a way to expand your market into those
I
other
love that.
areas.
Thank you.
Mhm. Alita, did you have something for us?
Yeah, I was just going to mention to you, like I had three people that were going to order on Saturday. So I asked them ahead of time, would you prefer to have your cart sent to you by email? or by texting. And they said, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, no, email would be good. So one said email, another one said texting, another one is a guy I'm still waiting for. So this morning, like during the weekend, I said we just had a digital upgrade. I'm really anxious to hear how easy it was for you to put your order in. So that was one touch. The next touch was that they still didn't do it. It went the whole weekend. The next touch was this morning I sent texts to all three of them, and I basically said, did you get my email? If it was an email, or did you get my text with the link for you and your son? My month is ending and I want to make sure you're dialed in. Let me know if I can help you. So I did that to three people, and I started second guessing myself, which we all do. I wonder if they're going to interpret that as my month is ending. I want to make sure I get paid on this, or my month is ending. Wow, she's pressuring me. All two of them so far. One, sorry, I had a very busy weekend. I just signed up. I didn't see the free mixer container you were talking about. Does that come separately? And then we figured that out. The next one said, I just did it. I just put it in. So whatever your mind is saying to you on, oh, I should have said this, or maybe I appeared to be too much, or da da da. I think people understand when it's the end of the month. And so I would often say, I don't want to leave you out of the loop. I'm closing my month out. I just want to make sure that you're all set. If there's any assistance I can give you, please don't hesitate to call me. I care about you and your son. I care about what you want to accomplish with this. So I'm just waiting for the roofer to call me back. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys.
So, Alita, I love that so much. It's definitely more positive than like our website is quirky. Like we don't want to plant quirky things into their head, like
Oh,
what I'm
right.
thinking, right? But like keeping it on a positive note. So you said we just had a digital update, and I'm curious how easy it was to put your order in, or how easy it was to navigate the ordering link. Those are
I
great.
always I always ask them that, and like what the last girl said, super easy. And then I've had other people say it was incredibly easy. I love this.
Mhm.
And so your new customers are going to be surprisingly happy that they're doing it themselves.
Yeah, they're used to that, right? Like nobody orders on Amazon for me. Nobody
I know,
manages
right?
those orders for me, so I kind of use that same verbiage. I have found if people are having a difficult on their phone, have them forward their link from their phone to their computer. So email it themselves, whatever it is, that seems to fix the problem. I don't know with why, like with passwords and things like that. So if they're struggling, ask them, are you using your phone or your computer? And then say, why don't you try the computer? Let me email that link to you instead, and hop on your computer, check the email, and then let's go from there. And I
I
have,
know that if you're creating a link or creating a cart on your phone with the healthy starts, it's a little finicky because the black box falls down. So it's really a lot easier to create the cart on your computer for a healthy starts.
yeah, if you're finding you're frustrated with that, move it to the computer. It's just a bigger screen. You can see the whole
Mhm.
thing without having to scroll down. Things don't get blocked. What was something else I just thought of? It'll come back to me. But I like that, Alita, just keeping it as positive as you can with the follow through. And you said something
Absolutely.
about you're closing up the business month. What did you say about that?
Oh, a couple things. I said, I'm closing out my business month, or I'm at the end of the month is today. I'd like to make sure that I keep you in the loop. Um, I want to answer any questions. Help me if I need to help you navigate through the website, through your ordering. Let me know. Just keeping it everything positive. And I was just thinking, we had a taste and see event on Friday, was it? Yeah. And there was a gal that she drank the superfoods, and then we gave her a shake. And you know what? That would have been a really good thing to do, is put the superfoods in the shake after she said, well, because the shake is a little sweeter than the superfoods. And so she really loved the shake. So that would have been a neat thing to do, is real quickly put the superfoods in a shake and say, taste this now.
Yeah.
So that's a really good idea to do, because it
Mhm.
doesn't, the shake will appear to be a lot yummier than the superfoods if you do it one right after another.
Right. Yeah. Or drop those capsules in.
Yeah. Or have her order the shake and then talk her into the capsules.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if you put the shakes in the capsule, do you do that, Alita? Like you can't taste them. Like especially a chocolate peanut butter banana, they don't even notice they're in there.
Yeah, the only thing I question is Dr. Matt Brown once came to Arizona to talk about that. And he said that the nutrients in our capsules are so fragile that he doesn't recommend putting the capsules in the shake because it just blends them too much. It mixes up too much. And that's what Dr. Mitra Ray was saying about boiling hot water with our superfoods, not to use hot water. And so I kind of, I want our studies to be valid.
Yeah.
So
The
that's the other.
NutriBullet, I don't find I even have to blend it that long, right? So you could do it two ways. You could blend the majority of the shake up and then drop the
Yeah,
capsules back in and just do it for even 30 seconds longer and
right.
they're in there. But
And Dr. Candace Corson's been doing that her whole life. She doesn't take capsules.
yeah, she
So
opens like 6 of them a day of each one. Uh, what was the other thing I thought of? Oh, I had like whatever you have to do to get your people to drink the shakes, right? Like just get the nutrients in and then eventually maybe they'll swallow the capsules without an issue. But I had a friend who put it was a team member, she would put like a spoonful of boxed cake mix into the smoothie and it was good. I will say, like, oh my gosh, it tasted good. But that was all she could do to get her kids to eat it. So then she just slowly stopped putting as much, and then over time they didn't even notice it. But I was like, at events, we cannot do that. Like, you can't put boxed cake mix in there. But it was,
or ice cream.
yeah, or ice cream. Like, if you have to do that at home, I can't see it. Like, don't let me see it. But it was tasty. So,
Yeah.
whatever it takes is better. I have a mom who her daughter's on the spectrum, and the only way she can get Juice Plus into her is the daughter will only eat like 4 foods. One of them is a quesadilla. So when she's making the quesadilla, she opens the veggie capsule and sprinkles it into the quesadilla, then closes it, cooks it, and that's how her daughter's been eating it. And she has been sick way less often. It's like 3/4 of a year now has gone by, like 9 months, and she's doing great with it. Like that's an insane way, but mama's got to do what a mama's got to do, right? So whatever you can do to get those in there. All right, great discussion. I hope you guys have looked in the chat, maybe take some of that verbiage Alita just gave us. I know I will be. And let's just really finish out this month strong, making sure if we've sent links to those people, follow up with them first today. That would be highest on your priority list. Second, just go ahead and make a date for an event that works for you. Do a watch party and then invite to that. Angie, did you have a question before we hop off?
I don't have a question, but I just thought I'd let you know I have my elderly mom was living with us, and I would put the capsules in her smoothie. She used to swallow them, and then that was too much for her, so I put them in a smoothie. And we do mineral testing with a dietitian.
Mm-hmm.
And after they were in the smoothie, and we did retesting, her mineral levels increased, and it was at a better level than when she was taking the capsules. So I felt like for her, and maybe digestion, gets different as you age, that was powerful. So I didn't see loss of nutrition by doing it that way. And we had testing to show it.
That is cool to have like a before and after. So yeah, I think like you're saying, Angie, anything we can do to get those capsules in. So yeah. How are you guys using the superfood powders for yourself? I'm finding I'm just putting it into a insulated cup with water. I do like sparkling water with it, which is interesting because I don't like sparkling water typically, but I like it. So real quick before you guys answer that, Joy, you have a question?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to address the smoothie, blending the capsule powders and stuff like that versus heat.
Okay.
Anytime you add heat to products, it will decrease the nutrition. That's one thing. As far as the powders by, high speed blending, yes, it probably could break it down a little, but it's still going to be effective. I don't see that that's going to be a problem. Um, I mean, even with the little frother that they give, you're whipping that as well. So I
Right.
don't think that's going to be as dramatic as the heat with hot boiling water.
Yeah, that seems like it to me too. Or if you had like a really old blender that takes like forever to blend something else up, like that maybe might be the issue too.
Yeah. So I'm kind of leery on, whipping too much oxygen into them, into the powders, because it does affect the oxygen content in the solution. But, I have a biology background and also a chemistry background. So I think you'll probably be fine as long as you're not blending it too fast
Yeah, or too
and
long.
too long. Yeah.
Yeah. So because you don't want to create heat with it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
All
That
right.
was it.
Thank you, Joy. Alita, did you want to add something?
Oh, no, I just think that in case of the girl's mom, I think it's awesome that she's taking the smoothie also, because with the macronutrients and the micronutrients together, her mineral levels are going to be raised. So it's going to be a lot better. I mean, we're encouraged to take all of our products, right? And there is a method to that, because we know that even when Smokey developed them, all of our products are working synergy together. It's going to be better for us. We need the macronutrients. I often find myself forgetting to take a shake. And so, but when I do, I definitely feel it. I definitely feel better. Dr. Mita Ray used to always say, that's one thing when you give somebody something that they notice immediately. Our capsules take education, 4 months, your blood turns over 126 days. And so that it's just a really great reminder that we need you know, to have our smoothies also.
Yeah, to introduce both because it is different. It's macro, it's micro,
Mhm.
it's multiplying the plants. You've got
Right.
your fiber, you've got feeding the good bacteria, all of that stuff. So, all right. Gwen says she's been putting her superfoods into her smoothie every day. Yeah. Nancy is in the bottle that they gave us at conference with cold water. Yeah, I definitely like it better cold. Yeah. The more we experience it ourselves, it brings it into conversation easier with other people. And having them in your purse, like in your bag, it's a great way to have a sample. Like we don't ever give capsule samples, right? Like that's just weird. And then gummies, yeah, you can have the gummy samples and I use those, but these are just super easy to give an adult, um, hey, you should try this, or this is what I do. In California, I was giving one to everyone. It was like everyone I was having a conversation with. So it's kind of fun. Barbara says she blends it with Luminate ice and water in a Ninja for a few seconds.
Wow.
Ah, mixing it with that. That's interesting. Very good. Annie asked, how can I get more information on meal prep? Annie, I would check your team boards. Most of the time, there's some sort of team boards like we'll have in events and it'll have different options like sourdough. Um, I'm not sourdough. Well, I mean, sourdough is a meal prep. I count it as a meal prep event, but like the salad in a jar, you should have some access to that in one of your team boards. Yeah. All right, guys, let's go make this last business day. Let's go. $500 with 5 superfood this month, and you can do it next month or just next month. All together from conference to end of April can be 5 months as well. So somebody asked if I can send a link to the Facebook meal prep group. I can, but I don't know that it's going to be that fancy to you guys. Like just don't overthink it. Just make one, I promise you. Find a picture of some salad in a jars, make that as your cover photo, and then just put in the description like why you want to help simplify. Your job is to help simplify nutrition for busy families, and you're inviting them in to see or to events that you'll have locally in the area. And especially if you have a sourdough or a salad in a jar event, go ahead and make that event in there, start posting information in it. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You.
Thanks, Stacy.